Yeah, so this is UNDERROT +6. I actually got 3 6 UNDERROT keys this week. And I actually don't mind this dungeon. I've been doing kind of like +7s the last few weeks on this team. I haven't really been putting a whole lot of focus into them. Uh, but yeah, it's what is this? Bolstering? Yeah, bolstering and oh shit. Ooh, that was close. Move them out of the way. Pretty easy affixes this week actually, and my goal, I guess, prior to Shadowlands, is I'd really like to do a +10. Preferably in time, but you know, even just getting to a +10, I think would be really cool. Um, and this is a really good week for pushing. I'm actually about to go on vacation, so I don't really see like that happening this week. I mean, if I had a little bit more time, go ahead and dispel that. I'll just take the bolstering stack. So yeah, unfortunately, like I wish the timing's not great, but um, the fixes are right this week, and 3 6 underrots actually isn't bad. My characters are like at high 450s, 460 at this point, so there's really not any reason why I can't just steamroll 6s. This is probably like a medium difficulty dungeon for me at this point. It definitely was very difficult for a time, but it's gotten a lot easier, and it's unfortunate that I got the pat at a bad time. Fuck, and I got both groups. This is gonna be a wipe. Yeah, there's no way. Well, let's just go ahead and blow up the Blood Matron if I can. Nope, we're gonna take the stack from that. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe it. That was a bad pull. Man, that's super frustrating. I did this in +2, literally right before I started recording, because I hadn't done a dungeon in a while, and I was kind of curious how difficult it'd be, but it ended up being pretty easy. So, it's not Gift of Gahoon. What's that? Yeah, she's gonna jump. I'm gonna go ahead and move, switch targets. I'll go ahead and take this priest a little bit lower. Should probably get the headhunter a little lower as well. It's really just all about. Actually, I'm just gonna eliminate the priest. I don't want to deal with the priest anymore. Move out of the shadow cleave. When you outgear the dungeon at this point, it's like bolstering's really like, as long as you pull kind of slowly, which I tend to do, right? Which I think is why I've not really had like the success that I would like to, is I think I'm just a little slower. I've started playing dungeons. Move out of that. That's not great positioning. One of them's gonna get hit. Nope. Alright, well that worked out, I guess. I'm gonna defeat the Befouled Spirit before I explode. Oh, this is bad. Jesus. Oh my god. And he's got gift. Move. Fuck. Jesus. Wow, this is a super bad start. Wow, this is not a great start at all. I might just reset this and do a different key. I don't really want to get a 7. I want to get like a good 8 key and do it from there. I definitely need to slow down though, because I'm making really dumb mistakes. I don't know why my tank is just getting destroyed right now though. Dark Omen, gotta dispel that Gift of Gahoon. Come on, where's my bat? Do I not have, is my bat dead? Oh, my bat's dead. Dear God. Alright, well. So the bat's really good here for dispelling. it's kind of almost like necessary in this dungeon. I would argue. Unless you can really like get all the interrupts, which I suppose you could. Move them out of the break spirit. Alright, there we go. Where's the priest? Where's the priest? Oh, I'm getting trucked. He gahooned himself that time. I was not getting trucked like this in the last run. On the same level of key. This is obnoxious. Holy crap. I have like really mixed feelings on if I should even bother keeping going on this. I mean, this is not good. This is a terrible start to this dungeon. I've already died like twice as much as I died in the last run in total. That being said, it only took me like 10 minutes to go from the first to the last boss last run. I wonder what's different this run though. I've got to be like totally messing something. I mean, not having the bat there, that was just a huge mistake. I mean, you can't not have that. You can't miss that dispel. Because that main guy that does the rending or whatever, I mean, that just does such high AoE damage. He always focuses the tank first, which is kind of which is nice, but yeah, see, I don't even care that this guy has 2 stacks. It's not really that bad. We're no lust on the second, 4th boss. I actually did a really poor job of executing the last boss in the run right before this. So I would definitely like to execute the last boss a little bit better this time. That being said, oh, okay. Or I can just execute everything else much worse. That's cool too, I guess. DPS is kind of low right now too. Need to move out of Creeping Rot. And blow this guy up. I'm just gonna... Okay, that worked out. Creeping Rot. Gonna move. He's probably gonna spawn one more ad. There's the Sanguine Feast. That DPS seems really low. Creeping Rot. One other thing I messed up in the last run, and I don't think I would have gotten a +3, but my pathing was really bad. I actually had to like clean up and get more percentage before the last boss. I also wiped on this pack, which is super, I guess, weird. I let it bolster. I let the maggot bolster. What I'm actually going to do here is I'm just going to kill the maggot, let the rest of them bolster, because the maggot's really dangerous. Jesus. Whoa. Yeah, oh, this is going to be so bad. That's fine. It's better than a wipe, which is what happened last time. So I'll take it as progress. I think killing that maggot's the right move, though. Definitely just got to keep moving, though. It's kind of the name of the game in Mythic Plus. It's just efficiently moving through the dungeon. And I've already had a pretty rough start to this dungeon. Although I feel less focused overall. I think that's my problem, is by the time I get a key that's like, that I've deemed like good enough, like worth me to do, just like, all my attention is just gone. I managed that bolster pretty well. I'll take that as a victory. We'll get this individual lasher, and then we'll get the living rot right after. I don't really like pulling. I like being very methodical about this room. And last time I killed this, right before this, I definitely didn't clear enough in this room. So I think I'm gonna try to clear more stuff in here first. And try not to get this 3-pack too. Although, yeah, Twilight Devastation might have other plans for me. I definitely don't want to get that fetid maggot with the lasher. It doesn't look like that's gonna happen. He's focusing the hunter. That's not a big deal. I'm going to interrupt that. Yeah, we'll go ahead and blow up the maggot. The maggot's actually not that bad. It's just that if you mess up on the maggot, like, he just kills your group, like, immediately. You can see I moved out of that, and that was... Oh, shit, and I just pulled one more. No worries. This will be fine. There's a wave of decay. I mean, you can see just how quickly I'm, like, blowing these guys up. I'm way overgeared for this key. My 100 DPS still feels very weak. I definitely feel like I'm missing something here in terms of, like, DPS. Like, I definitely feel like I should be doing more DPS here in general. But then, like, I've got some pulls, and I think part of it, too, is that in my GSE macro, I'm just, like, blindly using hunter cooldowns. I think if I switch to maybe controlling those a little bit better, it would be, you know, I would have better performance. The only contrast that I have on that is that, okay, well, I'll have more controlled DPS for when I need it, but I think my overall DPS will drop substantially. And just with like how hunter cooldowns work with like the cooldown reduction all over the place, I don't necessarily know that like it's something I want to manage. Like, I've got Bestial Wrath coming off cooldown. I'm probably going to use it. Yep, they just used it. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pull some more trash and wait till I get closer to cooldown. Right, it's not something I have to actually move out of. Shit, okay, well, I guess we're going. I'm gonna go ahead and lust. This has been a very sloppy run, to say the least. Go ahead and get those indigestion pieces. Oh, where the hell did that charge come from? That was like a terrible location for that. Absolutely crushing the DPS. So when I outgear the dungeon this badly, I actually typically will kill the boss before like indigestion even happens, or like right at the tail end of it. Like he's gonna do indigestion like right now. Or tantrum rather. Sorry. He's tantruming now. Boss dies before tantrum even becomes an issue. But one of my problems with this dungeon is that I don't really have a good answer for tantrum. And so it's why I use lust there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure that there's like a better way for other people to manage it, and maybe I'm wrong, but like this is never going to be the key. Shit, that sucks. He's got 2 bolster stacks there. There's the bile that hurts like a lot. One of them got hit on the tail end of that. I mean, that'll 100 to 0 characters in like 2 seconds, no problem. It only gets worse at higher keys. I definitely don't see this dungeon being something I will ever do at eye level. But I'm fine with that. Like, at least it's like beatable at this point. I've done it enough. I know the fights pretty well. So it's okay. I definitely do like bolstering though. I think it's actually, is this even bolstering? Yeah, it is bolstering. It's one of my favorite affixes to Multibox, for sure. It's very manageable. It's like just keep control of the dungeon and you're good. Whereas like I can't stand Grievous. Grievous is like an absolute no-fly zone for me. I don't even really bother trying. Like it's just too frustrating. And I feel the same way about like Quaking and Explosive. Okay, Explosive's not terrible, but it's definitely not my favorite. And Skittish is like a non-issue. So if I get a Skittish week, then I'm pretty happy. Because that's like a push week for me on this team. And even more so on my DKs, since it's 4 tanks. With Shadowlands kind of being so close, I think this will probably be the team I go into Shadowlands with. I'm planning on actually doing solo character content in the expansion as well. Not something I did at all up until recently. But like, for me, knowing the fights is like super important. And I can't like watch a video and understand what's going on. Like that's just not something that I can do. I have to actually do it. And it's easier to do it. It's easier to do it and learn if you're only controlling one character. This like experiential learning style that I have for Multibox, like it just doesn't work in Mythic Dungeons. Is what I mean to say. So I'm gonna cheese this. I'm gonna go ahead and turtle on one character. Just grab as many of these as I can. If the last run is any indication, oh look at this, upheaval on the same character. That's nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and obnoxiously beat those up. Although, ooh, I'm gonna have to use cooldown here. I'm just gonna go ahead and bubble, and I'm just gonna grab these other ones on this character. Oh shit, okay. That wasn't good. That definitely, yep, here's Harvest. Harvest is not gonna be pretty. How many stacks are we gonna have? 4? That's manageable, I think. Definitely not having that Hunter cooldown, not great. Not gonna see another one of those, so that's good. Definitely should spread my Hunters out, though. I think that's the lesson I just learned. But, I mean, this is going, like, aside from the fact of, like, I started the dungeon like a complete moron, I've definitely tightened it up. Curious to see how the last boss goes. I'm not even sure, like, what I did wrong. Well, I have an idea, right? Move forward out of Abyssal Reach. He's gonna do this Maddening Gaze, move to the side. He just casts it, like, straight up, so that's easy. It's, like, super easy to avoid. If you get hit by that, though, it, like, the run gets out of hand pretty quickly. That's a very bad Twilight Dove. There, that played out well. I think these guys only give, like, 1%, which kind of sucks. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this Defiler. I hate this pack right here. Like, I don't want to kill it at all. Like, I'd much rather deal with, like, an individual mob. I think another part is really just knowing the paths. As you get higher and higher in the keys, like, especially once you get to 10, knowing the path is, like, pretty much important just to defeating the dungeon. If you're even gonna look to time it. So then you take that to multiboxing. It's like exacerbated, I guess, right? Because you're not doing the dungeon as efficiently as a group of solo players is going to do it. Oh, fuck that ball. Yeah, that was really dumb. But I don't want to leave that noodle up. I'd rather just deal with one of those. Let's go over this way. Move out of maddening gaze. I've definitely worked a lot on my movement, and I've gotten a lot better at that. You can see I'm like pretty much figured out how to move my ranged group without actually swapping to them. Fuck, I got another bolstering. This is so bad. I can interrupt that. I guess I should just interrupt more. Alright, so I've got, what, one more noodle and two more of those guys? That should definitely get me to percentage. So I'm just going to go ahead and interrupt more here, maybe heal a little bit. That was a really dumb interrupt. I just used my interrupt on all my characters for that. Can I stun? No, that's fine. This is kind of a fucked up pool with bolstering. I would almost rather just like bolster one of them and get one of them down. Because the fear, like the maddening gaze, here it comes. Moving out for one of them, but they don't always do it in the same direction. So it's easy for that to get out of control real quick. There we go. Alright, he's bolstered. I don't really care. Maddening gaze, move. Like, it's better than dealing with two maddening gazes. Because they never go they very rarely go the same direction. And, yeah, it just becomes a huge clusterfuck. Like, an individual player can probably identify, like, okay, where am I standing? Where do I need to go? Like, etc. But for multiboxing, that's just not really a thing. Do I still have 2 minutes unsated? Damn, that sucks. So, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to see if I can get a +2. I would really rather get a +8 key than anything else. That's kind of where I'm at on this. Vial explosion. I think, oh, you know what? I think where I messed up last run is actually that my my pally healer just like sits there and melees a bunch. So I think follow probably broke, and I think that's why my pally healer went down. So I don't know. I'm not even worrying about the visages because the guy just kills them for me. Really just getting out of bad. That was actually awesome positioning. That was like ideal. This is going a lot smoother than my last run. And, alright, I phased them to the last one now. I'm gonna go ahead and use Revitalize, or whatever the hell that Hunter equivalent is. There's the last Visage over there. I'm gonna go ahead and blow him up. This will be all she wrote. Yeah, that was pretty well. That went pretty well. Did I get Shrine 8? Jesus. So I got Workshop 8 from the last one. I got Shrine 8 from this one. I'm gonna guess I'm gonna get like Siege of Borealis 8 next. So what did I get? I got a hammer. I mean, it's 445 loot. Like, none of this is gonna be upgrades. It's fine. I'll just DE it, sell it. Yeah. Well, that was UNDERROT 6 with a lot of insanity at the beginning, but it got better.